name is Cheryl Smith and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is like the first video I done filmed and it's like actually daytime. But anyways, I want to talk about something I've been seeing a lot on TikTok. I know y'all been seeing on TikTok like this video of like, no hate to this particular person, but like she just was saying, what the fuck is up with people ages 18 to 25 right now?
What the fuck is up with 18 to 25 year olds right now, you guys?
Or basically, I was seeing a lot of people, not even on TikTok, but Gen Z be getting a lot of hate because like everybody be saying like Gen Z is like the doomed fucked generation. Yeah, I agree. We are, but like they be seeing how we be acting and shit. Like we just so be lazy. We just is like fucked. Like we just the generation. I'm like, y'all, we must have did a bad job raising this generation. This generation is just horrible. This is the fallout of the humanity. The fuck. I know y'all been seeing like why do Gen Z get so much hate on? I want to tell you why we are the fuck generation. Because let me tell you something. Look at the world we are in right now as young adults and like teenagers. Look, like we are in the middle of a fucking pandemic. We are in a recession. Gas is high as fuck right now. The cost of living has probably tripled or even quadrupled since millennials was young adults. We are fucked. I am 16 right now and I was just realizing, like, oh my god, like, I do want to move. Obviously, I want to get my own house and my own car, and like thinking about adulthood. All that shit is stressful enough. Just thinking about adulthood, like, I'm so used to being 12, and like thinking about adulthood is like closer to 12 to me is already scary enough. But the fact that I would have to work my ass off just to get a house or even rent a car because everything is so high. But that's not even half. That is just the beginning. You want me to tell you why? This video is pretty much me just breaking down why Gen Z is literally, I'm not gonna say doomed, but like how we grew up is like leading up to like the society kind of fucked our generation. Like pause. But you know what I mean? Like, let me tell you something. Also, also y'all, pretty much a lot of my audience who watch me, who come from my 2000 video, a lot of y'all, a lot of you guys romanticize the 2000s decade. And yeah, however, yes, the 2000s decade, I'm sure we can all agree was better than this, I guess you can say, but like, to a certain extent. In a way, is the only reason why you see the 2000s, some of y'all people born in the late 90s, very early 2000s, see the 2000s decade as better than now, which it is, but see it as so good is because you was a kid in that era. So therefore, you wasn't old enough to really get a glimpse on how fucked up the world was, even in the 2000s. Some of the same shit that y'all talking about, oh, the word 2000s is so heavenly. I want to go back to the 2000s decade. Yeah, because you was a kid. 2000s is better than, I'll agree, 2000s, the world in the 2000s was slightly better than it is now. But some of the same shit that is going on now was still happening in the 2000s. We had illnesses and all that diseases outbreak in the 2000s. We had war and terrorist attack in the 2000s. 9/11 happened in 2000 in the same decade. 9/11 happened, Hurricane Katrina happened, and we had a recession in 2008. We had all that shit, war, crimes, school shootings, all that shit was happening in that same time period that y'all romanticizing. All that shit, some of the same shit that's going on right now still happened in the 2000s. Y'all was just too young to realize it then. That's why now y'all were like, oh, I want to go back to the 2000s, as if that shit didn't still happen in the 2000s. It just happened more. It's just now that we have iPhones and like technologically advanced to like catch all the horrible shit that happened because we got phones and document all the horrible shit that happened. All that horrible shit that's going on now, that's still happening in the 2000s. It just happened it's just happening more frequently now. All that shit like war, terrorist attacks, recession, prices going, that shit all existed in the 2000s. We were just too young to realize it then because we were too busy watching Hannah Montana and the best of fucking both the worlds and shit. Not that it's on us, you know what I'm saying, but like we were let known that the world is a horrible, scary place at such a young age. And I feel like that fucked us up. All the school shootings and all that shit that happened, that fucked us up mentally. You know what I mean? Just so much, like, yeah, 2000s, like, probably for our parents were not as was not as pretty and, you know, I mean, beautiful as we remember it. Not as for our parents. I'm pretty sure it was better than it is now. I'm not saying that 2000s and 2020s is like the same. Like, they are better, but I'm just saying 2000s is not as, you know, wasn't as good as y'all romanticizing it as saying, you know what I mean? Because we were kids, we didn't really understand how fucked the world was back then. But that just play a key role to, and then we skip forward to 2000 and, you know, the 2010s, and now most of us, mid and late 2010s, now most of us are staying like just on social media, just being just dealing with that type of shit, and then prices is just sky rising. But now we are at the point where like minimum wage is $7.25. Back in like the 90s and the 80s, that's why I don't understand why like older generations be coming for Gen Z's talking about y'all so lazy, y'all need to get off your ass and work. Back in y'all generation, back in y'all prime time, back in the 90s and shit, $7.25 was enough to pay your bills. $7.25 an hour was enough because prices wasn't that high. Like prices, minimum wage, people could actually live off of minimum wage. 2022, we can't even, minimum wage is probably not even enough to pay half your bills. Minimum wage is probably not even, probably just enough to, maybe not even just enough to pay for food in your house. It's not even enough to pay for a bill if you're thinking about, if you actually want to eat. You know what I mean? Minimum wage is not. Like that $7.25 isn't doing no one anything. That is, you can't survive off that nowadays. You could have actually survived off of minimum wage back in the 90s. Not no more. The prices of gas is high. We're coming now, most of us are in teenage years, or most of the core of Gen Z is graduating or into young adulthood right now, and they are going through a pandemic, a recession. They had to go through a fucking terrible presidential debate. I mean, they had to go through, first of all, we had to go through and graduate through 2020. That's just saying a lot right there. We went through 2020. That's just saying a lot right there. That's all I need to say. I ain't even I'm not even finna break down of all the shit that had happened in 2020. And 2021. The last 3 fucking years. Like, you know what I mean? Then they got the war going on in Russia that's making gas prices high as hell. Some of the places still ain't recovered from the gas prices. And now we're going through climate change, and that's fucking us up. It's hot as fuck outside. We had hurricanes just fucking us up. You know what I mean? Like, the setup of the world right now for Gen Z's upbringing has us fucked up. Literally. That's all you can do is laugh. Because, like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to move out, like, my parents' house. Like, you know what I mean? I'm 16. I don't even want to worry about that right now or think about that. But, like, the older generation is saying, go to college. I ain't gonna lie, y'all do need to go to college. But do y'all know, like, 3/4 of, I talked about this. If y'all do go to college, this is, like, my personal advice to y'all. If y'all do go to college, which I ain't gonna lie, you do, I recommend going to college for at least a trade or something. But if y'all do go to like a 4-year university college, if y'all got the funds to do that, go and get a degree that you actually is going to use. Cause 3/4 of people who have college degrees, they just end up wasting tens of thousands of dollars on literally nothing. They literally let it go to waste. They could have been making money in that time. Some people have a 4-year degree in something they're not even using in life. They just wasted 4 years of their life, 4 to 8 even years of their life, and tens of thousands of dollars in debt for absolutely nothing. So if you do go to college for a 4-year degree, make sure that degree comes into use. Please make sure it is something you actually want to fucking do, because the majority of the time it's not even, people be having a fucking degree in something that has nothing to do with their fucking career, and they end up tens of thousands of dollars in debt that they're gonna end up paying off until they're like 55, 60 even years old. Even still, they're gonna be like elderly, still paying off their college debt over a debt that over a degree that had nothing to do with their career. I'm scared for us in the next coming years, because I turn 18 in less than 2 years from now, and I am not ready to graduate high school. I am sorry. Like, the world is horrible. And I feel like that is why we are saying the 2020s in the recent couple of years are so bad. Which it is, it's gotten worse. But that's why I think we're saying the last decade has been just so horrible, because we are now old enough to realize how fucked the world is. That's probably why we saying I miss 2000s, I miss the early 2010s and shit like that. That's probably why we saying that, because back then we couldn't comprehend. We were too young to comprehend how fucked up the world was. That's why we're saying that. You know what I mean? The world was fucked up then, and it's even more fucked up now. You know what I mean? We couldn't really get a grip on how fucked up the world was then. It was fucked up then too. This wasn't as fucked up as it was now. I just felt the need to make that video. Like, if you are like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-old watching me right now, I'm 16 and I am stressing about young adulthood. I'm not ready for it. I need like another 5 years of high school. But I don't want to be in high school another 5 years. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, mentally, I'm not ready to graduate in 2024. That's just about it for this video. Leave in the comments of what you think about this, everything I named, older generations throwing shade at us, talking about we fucked up when we are. But this is a video just me explaining why we are fucked up. The setup, like mentally, all the mental, you know what I mean? I hope people took mental health more seriously also through all this shit. Check up on your friends, your family members, because yes, this is a mentally stressful time right now, and it looks like it's only gonna get worse. Also, y'all know the Queen died 2 days ago. All due respect to the Queen, you know what I mean? She's been holding it down in England for 70 plus years. You know what I mean? You go ahead on my end. That's in case to her. We are living in historic times right now, obviously. We are living in unprecedented times, and that's where Gen Z is at its youth. That is where we are like trying to make a living for ourselves in unprecedented times in the world, in climate change, in war, in fucking recession, and pandemic, and health crisis, and all this other shit. That's why we're fucked up. That's why we're fucked up. To the younger, older generations that are wondering why we're so fucked up, that's why. And that's just about it for this video. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me or your opinion on the matter. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on my YouTube channel so I know you're there. And that's just about it for this video. Love you guys. Have a great day.